Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Profitable Interior Designer. I am business coach Nancy Gansikoffer, and I am here with my awesome co-host Leslie Myrick. This topic is important, and I want to address this. I address this in my Profit Insider program all the time with you, is that getting noticed. Interior designers, proven social media strategies. I teach some strategies that people sometimes object to. They go, they don't want to always do them, right? So let's get into this. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, okay? So that you don't miss any learning opportunities in the future. Okay, so let's talk about social media, Leslie. Where do you find your best content gets noticed? On which platform?
Ooh. I would say for me now more Instagram than Facebook, but I
Okay.
tend to have people on Facebook interacting with my comments and my content, I should say, who are more likely to be clients. Instagram is very consumable. People love the Instagram, TikTok. Oh, it's a great video. I like it. I heard it, whatever it might be.
Right.
And you might get a client. I'll have good
Right.
luck on Instagram getting clients. Some people, it's more brand awareness and visibility. But I think it also depends on who you're aiming for. Is your target market maybe retirement age or, middle age, established families? They're probably on Facebook. If your market is, 30s, 40s, I wouldn't even say like the younger one, they're not on the Instagrams. But, I think the big bit too is just knowing where your content's going to hit best with the person you are trying to reach, not the channel you like the best or have the most fun with.
Right.
But if it's a business endeavor, as it should be, finding the content that's going to resonate with the right people and putting it in the right place.
Yes. And sometimes people listen, I always say seek out an expert in marketing if you are struggling with your marketing. But I will be honest with you, marketing is one big experiment all the time, right? You want to turn it into a science by understanding who your ideal client is, what age they're at, look at statistics, what platform would that person possibly be on if you're going to use this free option to market your business. But if you're in that gap where you're not sure where they are, why not do both, right? Why not do Instagram and Facebook simultaneously? And one of the things that I teach is to use your personal profile a little bit just to talk about what you do in your day, which is your business, so that people actually know what you do, and turn your personal profile into a little business card almost. So your friends and family actually remember what you do, because sometimes people don't realize that.
Yeah, we get so much resistance on this because people don't like Facebook, they're over it, or they don't want to spam people. And I understand that. There is definitely a boundary with posting professionally on personal. And we all know that friend who's selling some sort of product who has taken over their personal page with buy this, buy this, buy this. And that's not what we're talking about. But we've seen in some of this group designers posting, hey, here's a photo. I was out fabric sourcing today. I love this new fabric. And people will comment and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were a designer. I need your help. Like, people don't know. You think people know what you do. People have no idea what you do or how you can help them. And we've seen great results. Occasional, and I want to be clear on that, this is not every post every day. Do not just push your business Instagram or business Facebook feed to your personal Facebook feed. Once a week, a couple times a week, when it's organic, when it's natural, when it's genuine excitement for what you do. Oh my gosh, just photographing a project, check out this sneak peek photo. I'll be sharing more pictures on my business page next week. Or I'm working on this mood board, I can't decide between two rugs. What do you think? Which one do you like better? That kind of stuff people really enjoy because it's coming from a place of authenticity, and you're genuinely just sharing about something that's fun. You're not selling anything. You're not pushing anything. You're just being you and letting people into that complete picture of you, not just picture your latte or your kids or your puppy, which is also good on Facebook. People need that too.
I know, and it was funny because as you're talking, it's really one of Kim's tips, right, from Fresh Impact is to, well, not post too much, first of all, but telling a story is what you were just talking about. Show like the journey of one of the projects. Which fabric do you like? Which this and that. Like, it's really interesting. People love that storytelling side of it, and that's what I just heard from you. And you can use your personal profiles to do that, and it reminds people what you do on a consistent basis. Okay, so social media is free, everybody. It's something that, everyone wants to pay for marketing. What can how can I advertise myself, this and that? And I go, you know what? You probably don't have to if you use your social media platforms properly. So prioritize consistency, first of all, right? Prioritize that. If you make a decision to do every day and that's just going to be too much for you, then don't make that the priority. Do it 3 times a week. That's what Kim recommends, a minimum of 3 times a week, right? Um, Stories, you use stories really well. I use stories when I'm active. It humanizes you.
Stories, I feel like, one of the most important and sometimes overlooked elements. Like, everyone's got the pretty Instagram feed. That's a given as a designer, that you're going to have pretty content coming up. But stories is how potential clients get to know you. And in a luxury industry, and even if you are seeing a lower end client, this is still a luxury service. You do not need interior design to survive.
Right.
In a luxury service, people are buying the person. They want to know you. They
Yeah.
want to see, yes, that you can deliver a kick-ass room and a beautiful finished product. They also want to see you behind the scenes. They want to know you talking. Right now, my kitchen's being remodeled literally as we speak. Cabinets are going in. And the other day I did a video in the morning of the kitchen empty and was talking through it. And then when I went to do a little quick story later, both my kids were home. And I've got like one kid in the background making goofy faces and my daughter walking in going, "Oh, I know the name of all the continents." And I'm like, okay. But my followers, like, their families, their parents, they understand that this is part of life. And it was one of those videos like, should I share this? It's like, absolutely I should. I'm sharing about what I do, and I'm letting people peek into my world and who I am, what I'm about. So it can be really intimidating to start with stories because you're like, what do I say? I'm just, hi, I'm here doing a thing.
Which I've
It's
seen
like,
people do. It gets them
yeah,
started, right? Who are you?
exactly. You're gonna suck when you start. If you've never gone on Instagram stories and held the camera and looked at your dumb face, because it always looked weird, and talked, it's going to feel super uncomfortable. But there is so much value to your followers in them feeling like they know you and they're part of your world and your journey. And that is, I mean, has made a massive difference on Instagram. I will tell you, between doing stories that are more personal, and I don't mean like about my personal problems, but
Right.
they're me talking about something, and reels, I have stopped doing paid promotion, paid ads on Instagram, and we're still getting the same results.
Yes. And you know what? I think you made a good point before we went live that we have to make sure everyone understands. It's not necessarily always going to bring you direct business, but it's brand
Yes.
recognition and it's more people knowing who you are, and people know other people and will possibly recommend you, right? You don't even know how important it is to have a consistent brand out there. If someone wants to hire you and they found you through Google, through your website, and they're an Instagrammer, they might hop over there. If you haven't posted anything, they might think you're out of business. They may think you're not efficient. You're not able to keep up on your own business. So, what would give them the confidence to hire you to keep up on their project? This is all a reflection on how you run your business, is how you run your social media. That's a big one.
And that the consistency, that's it. Even if you're like 3 times a week is too much for me, fine, post once a week. But at least people can go to your feed and they'll see every week you've shown up, you're still active, you're in business. Will you get the same results only posting once a week? Probably not. But like I said, so I have gotten one amazing client from Instagram. I've gotten a lot of tire kickers. I've gotten a lot of inquiries. I've got a lot of followers who love me and my work. I'd love to hire you. I've gotten one actual client that I can say found me on Instagram and was a great idea project. That doesn't mean I'm giving up on social, because all of it is brand recognition. It is brand building. It is those, I think you've mentioned before, Nancy, it's something like you need to interact with someone or they need to see you 17 to 20 times before they're ready to purchase. It's
Yes.
higher than it used to be. Here to 15, right? People would need to sort of see you, see your thing, know what you're doing. It's only going up. And so having that social media presence where they see you, where they get to know you, they feel friendly with you, even though they don't know you usually. There's so much value in that. But we hear so many designers, it's not working. I'm putting all this time and effort. I'm not getting jobs. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Some designers do. And I feel like that's the exception, not the rule. where designers have a steady stream coming from Instagram. Not saying it's impossible, but we hear the majority of designers getting tire kickers, low budget DIYers, but it doesn't mean that the people who have, those big, great juicy projects, it doesn't mean they're not watching and keeping an eye thinking about you and pulling the trigger when they're ready.
Yes, and when you feel like you're not getting any engagement, it could be because you're not engaging with your own Instagram as well, right? If someone makes a comment, thank them, comment back, get that interaction going. You may be, I want to go back to something you said about video and looking at yourself on video and hating it. I literally will recommend people just record a video a day on their own phone and watch it and watch it and watch it and start getting used to seeing yourself on video, because then you become less critical of yourself. In the beginning, I was not even able to go on video without being stiff, no smile. I spoke differently. I wasn't natural, and it was terrifying. And I thought I just have to practice and then look at myself and listen to myself and learn to be okay with who I am, putting myself out there. Otherwise, people don't know that I can even help them. So as an interior designer, if you're not putting yourself out there to get noticed on social media, people don't know you can help them. So if you look at marketing as just letting people know what I do and make it simple, it'll take a lot of the anxiety off of, oh my God, I have to do my marketing. I have to post a video. I have to do this. You know what? I'm just going to let people know what I do so that if anyone needs me, they can hire me. Take the pressure off and make it a conversation, like you've said. And if you're watching, starting just now, go back and listen. You want it to be a conversation. It's called social media for a reason. Be social.
People love that peek behind the curtain too. The finished product is great. We all know that our Instagram feed, our wall needs to look top notch. People love to see what we're doing, like day in a life kind of. Not you have to do like a formal like day in a life and go all day, but show them when you're sourcing, show them when you're on a job site, show them, look, the client kitchen faucet got delivered. Look how beautiful the finish, like whatever it is. People love it. They want to know what we're doing and how they want to feel part of the journey, like they're on the inside with us, like they have a look at the design industry that other people don't. And it's so mundane to us. You're like, I'm picking paint colors for a remodel. Do a quick video, show them your fan deck. This is the kind of content that actually really resonates with people because they connect with you and what you're doing.
Yes.
And they like being part of the journey. And if they like you and how you work, it's so much more likely they will become a client one day, or they will refer you to someone who could become a client.
And it's more likely that it's an ideal client also.
Yes.
They've gotten to know you through your social media, right? So listen, and people say, well, what's the perfect time to post? And what day of the week should I post? This is, again, there are some experts that'll come out and go 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever. The bottom line is you have to experiment with your own following to see, right? So try a 9 o'clock in the morning and see how it does. Try a 2 o'clock, try 9 o'clock at night, and see when you feel like you get the most interaction. Don't get stressed over it. Just make it a game. Let me see when I get the best interaction, right? And then the other thing is the people who will eventually hire you are probably not the people who are actually commenting and posting. And I have to make this super clear because sometimes people are embarrassed to say they've hired a designer. They want their friends and family to think they've done it all themselves. And other times they're just watching you and they don't want to interact with you because they think then you're going to grasp onto them and over market to them. Okay. So it's just like whoever hires me. Usually I've never seen their name before on even a like or a post or a comment on any of my stuff. And then suddenly they're on my calendar for like a Profit Insider, group application because they're waiting and watching and deciding. So remember, on your social media as interior designers, people are waiting, they're watching, and they're deciding. And they may not be making comments and liking because they're afraid you're going to then, oh, hey, do you need any help with anything? And I'm not saying anyone really does that, but that's the psychology behind, ooh, if I make a comment like that's really beautiful, then they're going to be like all on top of me, right? So do your social media with a joy of, I'm going to put out what I love to do and then interact and play around with different platforms and different times, not with anxiety, with calm. and
Mhm.
just look at your statistics and your insights and see what's working.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
think
that simple.
you have to hold your expectations very, very loosely because again, it's not going to be like I do a post, I get a consultation. It is not like that.
It's the
This
long
is
game.
a long game. Yes, exactly. And that part of it sucks. Our designers hate hearing that because most of us aren't that interested in social media content. We're
I
not
know.
content creators, we're designers. But I do believe this is an essential part nowadays. And you hear about those anomalies like, oh, I don't like designers been in business for 40 years. They don't even have a website. Like, great, good. That's not how it is anymore. You need a website. You need a social media presence.
I
But
know.
don't get me wrong, one account is great. If you just focus on Instagram, if you just focus on Facebook, you don't need to be across 17 platforms. You don't need to be dancing on TikTok and doing threads and ignore whatever. There's so much out there to distract you. Focus on one, do it well. Let that be your thing. Be okay with that. Consistency and showing up one place well is better than being a hot mess all over the internet.
Yes. And if you find that social media is not feeling enough for you, then you add a second one, but at least do one really well. Do
Yes.
one really
Where
well.
your clients are, not necessarily the one that is your favorite to
Correct.
browse around on,
Correct.
but figure
Right.
out where your clients are.
Right. So,
Do
oh, Kim is watching. Kim said, love this. Let me see if I can share.
Can we learn from you?
Yes, and if you didn't hear in the beginning, we were actually saying take Kim's advice. If you can't do anything, you post at least 3 times a week just to get it done. And listen, social media is so anxiety provoking for people, and when you get down the rabbit hole, it makes it worse. So in the beginning of my business, and I'm going to go back to that because that's when I did everything myself. I would set a timer for 10 minutes on Facebook to do the work part of Facebook. Like I needed to do my posting and respond to people. 10 minutes on Instagram, 10 minutes on LinkedIn. So in a half an hour, I had hit all my social media every single day. So there are tricks like that where I wouldn't let myself go down a rabbit hole and just do Instagram and Facebook for pleasure. That I would do at night while I'm watching TV if I wanted to do that. But my 10 minutes was stay focused, stay focused. This is my 10 minutes of work related to Facebook, work related to Instagram, and work related to LinkedIn, responding and interacting and socializing. So these timers really work when you use them properly. Right?
Yes. I love that boundary too, because it's so easy to get sucked in and then you've spent an hour and haven't done anything valuable anyway. So
Yes.
I think that focus is really important. This is part of the business. It might be social media is what people are doing for fun, but you need to have that business owner hat on when you are doing that intentional time on social, when you are creating content, when you're engaging, when you are liking and whatever that might be. This is business owner version. Then you can go watch all the reels and TikToks on your own time. But make this
Exactly.
a part of your week.
Okay, and the last thing, obviously, is to take advantage of the experts that are out there and the trainings that are out there. So we have trainings from Kim and Fresh Impact in our membership site, in our Essentials program, Profit Insider Essentials, and Kim has trainings. Seek these things out. And, it's funny because we hear a lot of, I just don't know how, I just don't know how. And part of the problem is when people get really busy, they don't block out time for learning. Okay?
Yes.
Your business cannot survive without you continuously learning new ways of marketing, learning new branding, learning new techniques, learning to communicate with your clients better, process, and then actually the skill of being an interior designer. You could constantly be training and continuing your knowledge and education to make you better there. So you have to have time in your life to do your social media. You have to have time in your life for your learning and your thinking to grow your business. So when you think about getting noticed and using your social media, the proven method is you actually have to do it.
Mic drop. It's so true. You just have to show up and do it, and you're gonna be resistant to it, and you're not gonna want to do it. That's another huge advantage in the Profit Insiders Essentials. You've got, I can't remember the document's called, but it's like a crap ton of social media content ideas. When you're feeling stuck, there is a list. Go down that list, pick one, just do it and move on. You don't have to feel stuck
Correct.
coming up with content.
You do not have to feel stuck. There's so much in the Essentials program,
Yeah.
our membership site where you self self-taught, self-train, look at the lessons you want to look at your own pace. You could sit in the marketing section for a long time and really change your marketing to start attracting your ideal client just by doing those lessons and taking the time to learn and implement. So everyone give yourself time in your week. I always say stay in your office on Mondays or Fridays, and part of that day, give yourself 45 minutes to an hour every week to learn something new and then start implementing it. Okay. So did I miss anything, Leslie?
I see a little note about signing for Profit Insiders Essentials that I don't know if we should share at the bottom there. Can you see it?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me
It's
look.
all in bold in letters, and this week only.
If you haven't checked it out yet, go to my website, nancyganzacoffer.com, Profit Insider Essentials. We provided the link in the description, and see for yourself. And this week only, you're getting a special bonus if you sign up for the annual plan. Am I allowed? Do I know what the bonus is?
I don't know either. I'm excited because it's already a killer deal. Like, what else are you gonna get?
Actually, I'm not going to tell anybody. They have to go check out the landing page and check out the bonus that they will get if they sign up this week. So this week only. All right, Leslie, thank you so much for doing our little Profit Insider conversation that we like to do every week. I love it. And we have a group. We had a little delay on some of the conversation, so I'm hoping it comes out okay on the replay. But everyone, if you haven't watched the whole thing live, please go back and watch from the beginning. Some really great tips to get noticed. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.